Hello, welcome to continuation of if statements. So this is predominantly for City and Guilds exams. We're now going to look at IFAND and IFOR statements. So just to recap on the if statement from the previous video, we can see in the taskbar it's asking one question. That's all you're doing. So we can see in the taskbar here it's saying if C10 is greater than 10, then we want to pay our agent £200, and if not, the negative outcome would be no money. So just a point on that, in the question it may say to you, like it does here, the bonus of £200 is received if the number of cars sold is greater than 10, but it doesn't give you the negative outcome, does it? So there may be an occasion in the exam where you have to make up the negative outcome. So a simple one for this would be, yes, if it's true, pay £200. If it's not, pay £0. So putting that in there, but put something that's sensible in there, so let's keep it professional. But there is another way of doing it. So in here where I've put £200, you can actually in the taskbar just insert full space, two speech marks, and that'll leave the cell empty if it's a negative criteria. So let's have a look. There's 200. Drag it down. We can see the two cells here are empty, and it looks like there's no data in there, no formula. But if you click in there, you can see there's a formula in there, and the reason they're empty is because it's not over 10. Now, the only thing with this is when you put double speech marks in to leave a cell empty, it doesn't look nice on a spreadsheet. It'll be acceptable in the exam, but to me, you think there's data missing. So if it was me, I would put in an outcome, so if it doesn't give you a negative outcome, it doesn't tell you what to put, I would put something in that's appropriate. So I'd put the £0 in there like that. Then if I drag down again, you can see £0 appears. So that's the if statement. Let's move on to IFOR and IFAND. Now, this is just an extension of an if statement. Basically, with IFOR, you are asking two questions now. So you're asking a question of two cells now. And one or both of them have to be correct for a positive outcome. So if only one of them is correct, it'll be positive. Because it does sound like that as well, doesn't it? So it's saying if this is higher than 10 or that one's higher than 10, don't matter which, it'll be a positive outcome. However, if both are wrong, it's negative. So for the IFAND, both outcomes have to be true. So still asking two questions, and both of them have to be correct for it to be a positive outcome. If one of them is incorrect, it'll be a negative outcome. So again, the IFOR is two questions. Doesn't matter which one's correct, it'll be a positive outcome. IFAND, both have to be correct. So let's have a go. Down, and sorry, my apologies, there's the structure. So you can see we're starting to go into BODMAS territory again with a bracket inside a bracket. So it's going to do this first and then look outside and do whatever else it has to do. So you are going to have to get used to typing this one out. You can't use the little text box, the function box that we use for the if statement. That does it all for us. We're actually going to have to type this out. That's why with the if statement I wanted you to type it out. So if we look at the structure, if I just click in it, get my arrow going on, just ignore that little dash at the top. That's so it won't look as I'm looking at cell J5 and I don't want it, there's nothing in there and I don't want it to go array. So just ignore this little mark here. We can see it's equals. All functions and formulas start with equals. It's a function, so it's an if, and then we're going to have it as if, then open brackets like we did before, but we're going to put the or in as well, so we're setting it up at the beginning. We open brackets again, and we're asking the if statement. So this bit here is the if statement bit. Once I've asked the if statement, I'm going to put a comma because it's separated into different parts, and now this is the or part. You can see the two questions being asked here. Once I've finished with the questions, I'm going to close the bracket, put in a comma. I go into now the true and false statements. So this one's quite simple. I'm just saying if J5 is brown and K5 is 12, I want to sell. If they're both incorrect, it will say buy. And vice versa for the AND, that is exactly the same structure. We just changed the OR for an AND. So the best thing to do is just have a play. Where do I go? So this is the if statement, we missed this. So now we're going to go into this cell here. Now this is the type of question you may receive, and the clue will be in it. It won't be underlined in the exam, but the clue is in here. It's saying OR, but you can see 2 questions, so it should point you in the right direction. The bonus of £300 is received if the number of cars sold is greater than 10, or the car price is greater than 19,000. So this person will receive a bonus if they sell more than 10, or their overall total of car prices is more than 19,000. So let's start this formula function off. We know it's equals if open brackets or open bracket. We can see, similar to the if statement before, we have a little taskbar underneath, and it's saying logical 1, logical 2. So in theory, you could do many if statements called nested ifs, but they won't be in your exam, just for a point of note. But here we're asking 2 questions. We can see there are 2 questions. So the first question we're going to ask is if the number of cars sold is greater than 10. So I'm going to click in here. If C9 is greater than 10, I'm going to put in the comma, and you can see it's highlighted question number 2. You can see straight away it's starting to ask more questions if you want, so just be careful. So the second question is the OR bit, or the car price is greater than 19,000. So click in the car price, and greater than 19,000. Now let's be careful with this, because we know there's some commas in here for 19,000. I wouldn't use commas in here, because if I put a comma in there, will think I want to go on to the next question. So better safe than sorry, don't use any. And regarding, do I put a pound sign in £19,000? Well, if there's a pound sign in the heading, don't need one in the date in the table, because it's denoted with the table heading. But if I do put a pound sign in there, then I'm going to have to put speech marks in. Remember, we were talking before, anything that's text related needs speech marks. Anyway, that's my 2 questions done. So I'm going to close the brackets, thinking about BODMAS. We can see it's now reverted to the if statement underneath, and we're in the logical test. But we know we've done the logical test because we've done the 2 questions, so I now need to move to value of true. How's it all separated? Comma. Goes to value of true. So this is saying they're going to get £300. Each mark in because it denotes the pound. Not paying him a lot, am I? £300. And that's for the value of true. So if them 2 statements, if that all statement is correct, I'm going to pay them £300. However, there's always a false outcome as well. So if it's not correct and it hasn't told me what to do, I'm going to make it up, and I'm going to say £0. I'm going to close the corresponding number of brackets that were open, so I can see there are 2 brackets opened. I have closed 2. So let's have a look. £300. Why is it £300? Number of cars sold is greater than 10. So we can see straight away with this OR statement, it's correct. It doesn't matter about the second part, it's correct. Well, the car price is greater than 19, and in fact they are both correct, so it's doubly correct. Now if I drag this down, we can see there's a 0 in there, basically because it's not greater than 10, and it's not greater than 19,000, obviously. So this one, unusually, we can see here, it's not greater than 10, so this is incorrect. However, remember with an OR, doesn't matter which one's correct, the 19.5, so this person qualified for the £300. So that's your OR statement. Now the AND is exactly the same. You just swap the OR for an AND, and now both criteria have to be correct. So let's set this one up. Equals if, open brackets, and open bracket. Again, this little statement at the bottom telling me I've got 2 logical questions, and this time a bonus of £500 is received if the number of cars sold is greater than 10. So if the cars sold are greater than 10, I'm going to the comma in, so I go to the second part of the question, which is the AND bit. The car price is greater than 19,000. So I need to click in the cell. Greater than 19,000. I'm going to close the bracket into mass, and I can see this is appeared again at the bottom, so I'm back to my if statement and I'm in the question part. I know I've done all the questions, so I want to go to the value of true. How is everything separated? Comma, value of true, they're going to receive £500. There's me keeps getting them out of some money, and the value is false. I have given a false value here, so it's £100. I'm going to close the brackets off. So I've closed the corresponding number of brackets and press enter. Ooh. Hopefully you would have picked this up before me, and you can quite clearly see what have I done wrong. So interestingly, it wants to take the pound sign out. Now this may happen, and this is just about cell formatting. So I can see these don't have a pound sign in there, so I could take the pound sign out and it will still recognize it. Be interesting to see what it says in here, whether it puts the pound back in or just has a 500. Or I could add the pound sign in and put the speech marks in. It's your choice. I'm going to go for this current one and see what happens. Yeah, so it hasn't. If I go to home, yeah, the cells have been formatted to general. So these things may crop up in your exam, not to be tested on, but it's technology, isn't it? So if you're looking at it and if something's not working, it may be a case of what have I formatted the cell to? It's general, therefore it doesn't like the pound sign, so I'll take it out, make sure the pound sign's in the heading. Or I could format this cell to currency and put the pound sign back in. So let's have a look. I kept the one in for the other one. Yeah, you can see I kept the one in for the other one, and it's now called them £100, which is great. Let's have a look and see if it's true. So it's greater than 10, greater than 19,000. It's greater than 10. Oh, so close to getting £500 bonus. Unlucky. This one is one that makes me smile. It's not greater than 10, but it's greater than 19,000. We sold one more car, would have got £500. What a mean boss. Anyway, I digress. Now the last one is an if statement, but it's a long-winded if statement, if you remember from your if statements before, where if the number of cars sold is greater than 10, then the true outcome is the bonus is 1% of the car price multiplied by half the number of cars sold. That is the true outcome. The false outcome would be the bonus is 200 quid. So have a go at this. This is more a stretch and challenge, but you have practiced this one before, so it'll be interesting to have a go. Now, I'm going to take these out just so that when you get to see them on the website, you can have a go yourself. Now, I'm going to leave my email address up here because I have another spreadsheet for if, IFAND and IFOR statements, and it's quite a lengthy one. It's about a theatre. So if you want some more practice, please email me and I'll send that one to you. But enjoy this one, and we're going to move on to VLOOKUP next, which is predominantly for Pearson exams, level 2. But please, if you're interested, have a look. Thank you very much.